Hey gang, Spacetime Badass here. So today I was planning on filming my Vivid Dream review video, but instead of doing that, I got off work to the notification email that my video was claimed by Luciding, the creators of the Lucidcatcher. This video was claimed because I had made a response to their most recent video, which is a bit of marketing for their device. So my video clearly falls within fair use. I was very careful of that. I know that in a court of law, my video would be considered fair use. You know, it's just a shame because how YouTube works, we all know how it works. You know, somebody will make a response video and the people who can kind of take that criticism are more respected than the people who try to silence others. And that's what I feel is happening. It's a clear attempt at Luciding to silence any criticism of them. And this is something that Luciding has shown in their Kickstarter, if anyone's followed that. In their Kickstarter, Luciding refused to answer any of the criticisms or critical questions head on, but instead would just say something like, well, thanks for your opinion. They wouldn't ever engage with their customers who had a valid concern for their product. As you guys know, I did a review for Luciding, for the Lucidcatcher, and I'm gonna get into my specific experience with them. So since I'm being silenced, I feel that it's necessary that I give you guys a really clear understanding of the company Luciding through my experience, because I think it's really indicative of who they are as a company. First and foremost, the claims that they made in their video that I made a response to are just outright lies, and that's why I had to point them out. That's why I made the response. They're trying to reach a new market, gamers, and that's very wise. However, the way they did it was very disingenuous. They were promising in their video that, one, your reflexes could be increased by practicing video games in a lucid dream, and by practicing video games in a lucid dream with their device, they could become pro gamers. So yeah, it's kind of shady. So if you know anything about reflexes, you know that you can increase your reflexes, yes, on a specific task, but that's muscle memory. And if you build reflex in one task, you only have it really for that task, so it doesn't spread across this wide array of things. And the problem with building reflexes in video games through lucid dreams is that controllers won't really work. Video games doesn't really work in dreams. I mean, you can practice the scenarios and maybe something with reflexes. I doubt it, because there's no muscles involved and it's muscle memory. But just for the fact that electronics won't work like that in lucid dreams, you simply can't practice reflexes that way. And just the claim that it would make you a pro gamer, to me, was completely outlandish. That aside, I want to give you guys just a really clear overview of my experience with Luciding. So I made the video originally about Luciding because they released their first products after their first Kickstarter, and I thought it was a nice little bit of lucid dreaming news to talk about and kind of talk about what the future of lucid dreaming could be. And so they saw that and offered to send me a review device to test. And I was like, yeah. And we spoke in emails, and I was led to believe that this was a device that was brand new, that I was getting for free to keep. That's how reviews work. That's how it's working with Vivid Dream. That's how it worked with Dreamleaf. That's, as a micro-influencer, that's how things work. They want a review, they just give you something free because that's cheaper than paying you to do it, right? Because we don't have such a large audience. That's what I was led to believe. And they kept saying they were sending it, but they never really followed through on that. So what had to happen was I had to message them several times. It took weeks. Actually, it took months. I was offered the device in February and didn't get it until June or July. It took months. I was contacting them. Another friend of mine who was also going to review it was contacting them, and actually had to contact one of the founders of the company to actually get this sent to us. But finally we got it. And when I received my device, as you see in my Luciding review, I'll put a link to that at the end of this video, you see in that unboxing that I get a device that is clearly used in disarray. It has hair on it. It has other people's skin cells on it. So I had to disinfect it before I used it. I was just appalled at that, and I thought, you know, I'll put it aside, I'll do the review, and I'll just base it on whether or not this thing works. But I felt like I had to include that because that was just bad. After testing it, this was while their Kickstarter was going on. They wanted the reviews to be coming out while their Kickstarter was going on so that they could get more sales. However, they didn't give us enough time to test it to do a review for that to happen. So I just flat out, they were urging me to get the review out while the Kickstarter's hot, get the review out. And I just refused because I had to give the device a fair shot. And I think I did that. I had it, I tested it for 2 solid weeks straight. Well, not like one day after another, but for accumulatively it was 14 days. So, and out of one of those days I got a lucid dream that was actually less vivid than my lucid dreams that I get through hard work are, and it was just completely insane to me. But regardless of that, while I was still testing it, I mentioned that I was running out of the back electrodes that the device needs to run, and they said we can give you a firmware update. And via that firmware update, that's the only thing that'll make it work without the back electrodes. So I say, yeah, I'll get the firmware update. I want to keep testing this device and see if it works for me. And the next day they get back to me and tell me, no, it's time to send the device back. The next person will do the firmware update. Bearing in mind that when I got the device, the charger for it was broken from use, and so I had to use my own charger to actually charge the thing. And so I have the packaging here. So I got this device here in the US, sent from Moscow, Russia, to me, and then afterward they had set it up so that I couldn't refuse to send the device back, because they had the next person in line waiting for that review to be someone that it's known that I associate with online, that I actually kind of know personally, and we've talked about lucid dreaming publicly together. So they had me send it to someone that it's known that I associate with, so I couldn't refuse. And so I send it over to the UK, so it's gone from Russia, that we know of, it's gone from Russia to the US to the UK, and by the time it gets to the UK, it doesn't work anymore. And it's goddamn lucky that it doesn't work anymore. I mean, you guys know, I'm sure, with like USPS and UPS, you know, especially overseas, that boxes get fucking, you know, kicked around, thrown, things are going to get damaged. And it's really lucky that the device didn't work when he got it, because if it did work and it malfunctioned, these devices shock your prefrontal cortex. It could have done some serious damage. It could have fried his fucking brain like a fucking egg in his skull, and that's dangerous. So that's kind of my whole thing with this whole deal, is that they have no concern at all for the safety of their reviewers. Why do you guys think that they would have any concern whatsoever for their customers? I mean, it's fine that the device shocks the prefrontal cortex if it's done safely, that's being disclosed, but to have it being sent all over the world, telling people they're getting a new unused device, just to have one person send it to the next person, and not doing diagnostics in between, that's just crazy to me. If you're gonna have multiple people using the same device, and knowing that it's going to be across the globe, literally from Russia to the US to the UK, there needs to be a diagnostic done. It needs to be sent back to them for them to check it out and say that it's okay before sending it to the next person, because otherwise it's a liability and people are getting hurt. And it just seems to me that they really don't care who gets hurt or what happens, so long as they get their bottom line. They are liars. They put people at risk. They've put me at risk. They've put people that I care about in risk, and that is not okay with me. And now on top of that, they're silencing any more criticism that they can get. So we already know that they can't deal with criticism very well. They can't answer critical questions very well from their Kickstarter, and now they're making the effort to try to intimidate me personally on a piece of content that I made that was 20 minutes long, that features a 3-minute video from them, cut up, and completely transformative, and does not affect their market whatsoever. And it's just insane to me that this is just a clear attempt to silence me and make me afraid that, oh, they might sue or something like that, when I know it would hold up in a court of law as being fair use. And I could take a lot from them. You know, if they actually sued and they've had a lot of good Kickstarters going on lately, maybe I should get in on that money. But, you know, this is just insane to me, guys. And, you know, they can't claim this video because, one, it's not slander because it's all fucking fact. And, two, everything you see in here is 100% me. They can't claim this video. They cannot silence me here. So I felt like I owed it to the lucid dreaming community to just tell you guys what a terrible company Luciding has been. They put people in danger by sending these devices all over. They only care about the bottom line. They want people to do reviews without even trying their product. They want to lie to people and tell them that they can become pro gamers from using their device to lucid dream, and it just isn't so, guys. It just isn't so. Wouldn't it be nice if we had a device for lucid dreaming that just worked and was safe and was by a good company? I want that to be the case so much, guys. You don't even know how many people I just want to experience lucid dreaming for the joy of it and really get into this thing. But Luciding is not that company, and the lucidcatcher is not that product, guys. I think that just about covers it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take it easy, and Luciding fucking sucks. Fuck you.